Hey y'all, let's make some, we'll call them marrymechicken sliders. I threw me some chicken, you want about a pound and a half, um, over in the Instapot, and I've got it boiling, and then we're going to shred it up. And this is sun-dried tomatoes. I've just got a small jar of these. We're just going to make a sauce to put on our sliders, and it's going to be very similar to that. We're not going to use spinach and such, but it'll be very similar to like Marry Me chicken. So I'll get those cut up and I'll be back. I'm doing all the chopping that I need to do, and you really are supposed to have some fresh parsley, and I don't have any, and I know it tastes totally different, but for this meal, this basil will be fine. I'm going to chop up just a little bit, and this is going to be for our garlic butter, and we'll have just a little bit of fresh basil chopped up in it. So I'll get that done, I'll be back. I'm going to do a couple of cloves of garlic too, just like that. Mince it up real good. My little machine or mincer is in the dishwasher, so I'll just do it with this knife and I'll be back. This is for our compound butter. I put a fourth cup of butter in there and I melted it. And we're just going to use this for the top of our sliders in a few minutes. I got a little bit of basil in it. We'll put a little bit of parsley in there. If you got fresh, you could use fresh. I just didn't. And mix that up, and we'll set that to the side. This will be what we put across the top. And you, of course, want Hawaiian king rolls is what I'm using. You can use brioche bread. You could do different things. Now, I'm going to shred 3 cups of chicken, but y'all could, do a rotisserie if you don't want to have to do chicken. And I'm using one thing on my mixer to do that with. Makes it super easy. We'll get that shredded up and I'll be back. Let's make our sauce. I'm going to pour a third a cup. I'm sorry, 3/4 of a cup. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Once I grabbed the wrong one. Of heavy cream into this. And we're going to add about a half a cup. I may add a little more just because I've got them out. I'm going to use them. To the sun-dried tomatoes. And then we're going to do, see if I got one up here, and I'll do it, measuring it for y'all just so. Got a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'm going to do just about a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I don't want a ton of those. I don't want a ton of heat. And I am going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning. We'll do a teaspoon of it. We want to stir that up. And when this starts to thicken up, I'm going to let it cook a couple of minutes. And then we're going to add a third a cup of mozzarella to this. You want to use something this is not going to stick to, or just make sure, you could use stainless. But with the cream, just make sure you are working with it for, constantly instead of leaving it. Your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees. You want to get you a pan that's going to hold your 12 King Hawaiian rolls, or whatever you decide to use for bread. 9 by 13 or so will work. There's our oven. Now we're going to go ahead, get my chicken over here while that bubbles a minute. Okay, it's starting to cook up fast now. I'm going to have to turn it down a little bit. Just melt this cheese is all we're going to be doing. And that was 1/3 cup of parm. It's pretty thick. I'm going to add just a tad of cream. Just a tad. You can see that's very little. Just a little. Because you don't want them, you know, so wet your sliders will be yucky. But I want to be able to get my chicken in here. So I'm going to measure this out for you too, so I tend to put too much in anything. So we're going to do 3 cups. That was another reason I kind of thinned that up, just so. So there's our chicken, and then we're going to mix all that up, get it all good. And mix together real good. Now, if you have some fresh spinach, you wouldn't put it in this, you'll just lay it over your sliders. I don't have any, so we're just doing ours with cheese. But it would be really good with some fresh spinach. All I have is fresh basil, and that's just a little bit too strong to throw, you know, on it like I would fresh spinach. So let's move over here. I have different ones of these. These happen to be the savory butter, which is what I want to use on this recipe. And I'm going to use sweet rolls on a pecan bread pudding I'm going to make. I'll try to get that done tonight and post it tomorrow. Use your good sharp bread knife and just run through the center of your rolls. Make sure you spray your pan, and I've already done that. Now then, we're just going to put these, see if we can get all this on top of here and spread it out a little bit. That's plenty, more than plenty to cover these rolls. I can kind of mash that out pretty even. So we don't have some with tons and some with none. Oh, they smell good already, y'all. And then you're going to top that with some more cheese. If I had mozzarella, I would use it. I don't. I've got Colby Jack, so that's what I'm going to use. So let's get that topped with some Colby cheese. I would think you could use any cheese you wanted to. Might as well just use that on up. Then I'll grab this. I need to have a Parmesan behind me. Then we're going to put these back across the top. Just like so. Then we're going to take our butter with our garlic and our basil, and we're going to brush the top of them. Just like that. If you've got parsley, you can use parsley. I actually got parsley and basil in this. I just happen to have some fresh basil. So this is parsley, basil, and garlic in butter. And we're just going to pour every bit of that on there. Just like that. Now we're going to cover it with aluminum foil, and we're going to cook them for about 15 minutes on 350. We'll be back with a little bit of slider in a minute. Okay, they are out of there. Let's get us a plate. Let me get two put up here on it. I burnt my mouth last night trying to taste of something that fast. So tonight I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut two out, let y'all see them, and then I'm going to get it posted. There you go. I moved the camera around. That is our marrymechicken. I'll try to get a bite off of this part. I'm just not going to bite into it when this is hot. I burnt my mouth last night. I got blisters. No joke. On lemon curd. That chicken is so good. Y'all make me some. Give me a second and I'll get the recipe up. Have a good night.